इंजीनियरिंग लोग सोचते हैं कि पता नहीं कुछ मैथ कर रहा होगा, कुछ रिसर्च कर रहा होगा. इंजीनियरिंग एक्चुअली एक मैकेनिक का रोल है. एक मैकेनिक है जिसको थोड़ा सा रिसर्च आता है और उसके पीछे की चीज़ें आती हैं. दैट टाइम आई हैड लाइक 20,000 सब्सक्राइबर्स. सबने बोला यार गौरव वी डिडंट सब्सक्राइब टू यू फॉर दिस, यू स्टे विद कोडिंग. एंड आई सेड नहीं यार, मैं खुद के लिए बना रहा हूँ और मैं कंटेंट के लिए बना रहा हूँ. मैं आपके लिए भी बना रहा हूँ, लेकिन अगर आपको इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सो यू कैन बैक योर सेल्फ देन. The mob is always dumb. Remember that, especially in YouTube. Specifically, sponsorships help a lot. Affiliates जो होते हैं कि आपने किसी और का सेल करा लिया, वो आपको एक कमीशन देते हैं. वो कमीशन से आप बहुत कमा सकते हो क्योंकि वो स्केलेबल होता है. तो अगर जैसे मेरा जो सैलरी था was around half of how much I was earning on the side. So then you go like, dude तू बंद भी कर देगा तो क्या हो जाएगा.
Performance marketing, e-commerce marketing, content marketing. Is this the world that you see yourself in? If you dream to work in these roles at Hindustan Unilever Limited, here's your chance. Apply to AltUni's certificate program in digital marketing with HUL. The participants achieved a return of 12 times the investment with an 80% average salary hike. Hurry up! Apply now to the program from the link in the description. Limited seats available.
So he is an engineer, and after engineering, he thought that why not teach people? But that teaching happened later on, and from that journey, he started his own YouTube channel. And guess how many subscribers he has? 500,000 subscribers. So he teaches to 500,000 people now, and he is definitely going to teach you guys also some lessons in this particular session. Gaurav, please join me on the stage. So Gaurav, what sort of a childhood did you have?
Oh, so mostly getting beaten up because I used to, I mean, I have an elder brother and the other thing is I'm not good at studies. So then it happened. Till 9th standard, I don't think I even realized that I can study. There was this feeling I had that, you know, even if I try, nothing's going to work out. But that changed in 10th. And since then, I have been reasonably confident about my studies, but yeah.
So when you say you were reasonably confident about your studies, when it came to engineering, were you confident or your parents or the relatives said कि बेटा engineering में बहुत scope है कर लो?
No, I was very confident कि I can't study. That was the confidence.
You can't study at all?
No, so what happened is I tried IIT, I tried NIT. Of course नहीं हुआ.
यार IIT NIT में क्यों जाना होता है engineers को?
पैसे कमाने होते हैं, इज्जत चाहिए, yeah. So what happened is when you join this college, which is a local college, people become much calmer because their aspirations and everything is gone. The expectations they have from you is gone. So there's no pressure. You can study if you want to. You can not study if you don't want to. So yeah.
So that was the easy ground that you were playing. तुमने बोल दिया कि मेरे से तो नहीं होने वाला है, तो expectation मत रखो.
सच कहूँ तो yes. When I gave my first exam, I failed. One subject, and my dad, I don't think he was being cynical. He was actually saying ki, well done beta, there's just one KT, you can do it, next semester clear kar loge. And it gave me a lot of freedom. I could do side projects, I could do a lot of things which I had never imagined I will be able to.
So tell me a little bit about that. So अब तुमने सोचा कि IIT NIT तो नहीं होगा, but engineering करनी है, ये दिमाग में clear था. Or was that something also came in because you saw people doing it and then you thought, let's try this out?
My dad had been paying for me all his life. First year mein, when I got that KT and he was still backing me, I was for the first time in my life trying to take responsibility for myself. Like every time what would happen is I would say 10th ke baad I want to be a writer and I would say अच्छा नहीं पापा ने बोला engineering इसलिए मैं forcefully कर रहा हूँ. फिर एक साल मैं drop ले लूँगा और IIT कर लूँगा. And you're seeing that I'm running away from the fact that I'm not doing anything. So that's when I started realizing कि look, my parents are actually doing a lot for me, and maybe I should buck up. Computer science पे ठीक है क्या है, practicals है करता हूँ, and that's when I started doing rather well in my college and in practicals and everywhere. Yeah.
So what was this college? I mean, if you can tell me which college ultimately did you go to?
it's in Bandra, Father Conceicao Rodrigues College of Engineering.
But कैसा था Bandra वाला experience share करो थोड़ा.
सबको लग रहा था कि शाहरुख खान के घर के बाजू में मन्नत और यहाँ पे ताज लैंड्स एंड है, और सबसे स्ट्रिक्ट कॉलेज हमारा ही है बिकॉज बाहर जाने नहीं देते. यू सी अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आउटसाइड lying on top of each other and this is the weird movie scenes that you see, but yeah, for me it was a very conservative college, which is good because you actually get some time for yourself to study.
Right. और पढ़ाई किया फिर to a particular institute, आप automatically serious हो जाते हो. फिर आपको लगता है कि यार मतलब a lot of people are looking up to me now. So did that happen?
Yes. So 1 year के बाद when I actually decided that I can't take a drop and can't get into IIT, there is no more roots remaining. So now start actually focusing on what you have. So it's surprising, my practical performance went up. I was the first to complete my practicals almost in every practical. And yeah, that's when I started becoming confident as a computer engineer. Most people don't know what engineering means.
Yeah. Please explain.
So engineering लोग सोचते हैं कि पता नहीं कुछ मैथ कर रहा होगा, कुछ रिसर्च कर रहा होगा. इंजीनियरिंग एक्चुअली एक मैकेनिक का रोल है. एक मैकेनिक है जिसको थोड़ा सा रिसर्च आता है और उसके पीछे की चीज़ें आती हैं. तो दे कैन कोड, इफ इट्स अ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर दे कैन बिल्ड थिंग्स, बट वो जाके डैम में कंक्रीट नहीं ले करने वाला है. वो बोलने वाला है ये मैथमेटिकल प्रॉपर्टीज़ मैं समझ रहा हूँ तो यहाँ पे कंक्रीट ले करो, और फिर वो फिजिकली कुछ चीज़ें करेगा, कुछ चीज़ें मेंटली करेगा. दैट्स द थिंग अबाउट एन इंजीनियर विच मोस्ट कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर्स डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. दे थिंक दैट मैं कूल कोडिंग एल्गो करूँगा और फिर एक एथिकल हैकिंग कर लूँगा. डूड, दैट्स नॉट योर जॉब. You're actually programming for building systems.
So computer engineering is where your heart said that you can do after all this. And what was it like during your time when you were learning computer engineering? Did you see a career there? तुमको ऐसा लगा कि अच्छा ये well paying करियर बन पाएगा, या फिर यू एस सेइंग मज़ा आता है वो सैलरी पैकेजेस देख के कि यार गूगल तो इतना पैसा ऑफर करता है.
यार सच कहूँ तो मेरे टाइम पे इतना मैंने सोचा नहीं था. मुझे पता था TCS आने वाली है, 3 लाख का जॉब देते हैं और वही करेंगे हम लोग. या डैड हैज़ पेड फॉर मी ऑल हिज लाइफ. इट्स अ रिस्पेक्टेबल थिंग and I respect all the people who actually do that. If you are talking about the big packages, of course it's a dream. The highest package which used to come to my company was a 12 lakh Morgan Stanley package.
So 12 लाख की जॉब आई कर रहे थे तुम, या फिर तुम्हें लगा कि अच्छा समवेयर कहीं पे सेटल करना
यार फैंटेसी टाइप की थी, थोड़ी सी ऐसी थी कि जैसे IIT हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छा है वैसे ही. So I was not preparing specifically for that company, but I would say that background इतना strong बन गया था उस टाइम पे कि they liked me. So then I got hired.
Right. तो आपने मेहनत की and then you cracked a job, right? Right out of campus. Just after मतलब when you are done with your engineering, कैसा काम करना होता है?
मतलब जॉब स्विच करना पड़ा. 4 महीने में I moved from Morgan Stanley to a company called Digtial. It's also in Mumbai. Morgan Stanley में there was basically the training period and then I moved to Digtial. Over there, if you ask me what kind of job I was doing, it was...
I am interested in why Morgan Stanley did not work out for you. अगर वो तुम्हें sue ना करे तो?
See, I'm passionate about engineering, but I'm passionate about money also. So when Digtial came with an offer that you don't want to refuse, that's when I made the switch, yeah.
Right. So what does Digtial do? Why did you think that it's a right fit for you, that you wanted to go there? और किस तरीके के role में गए फिर?
So Morgan Stanley में, if you're an engineer, a software engineer, you're a business enabler, support kind of role. While in Digtial, you're the core person. It's like let's say Google, or on the other hand, Uber can say that operations is the core thing. So I wanted to be in a place where the engineers are kind of leading the company. So Digtial does that. So it made sense for me to actually make that switch.
मुझे याद है while we were talking before this also, there was one incident in your life that changed the way you saw things, right? And that's the event where you went on a trek and then you felt something in your life in a big way. I want you to share that incident with the audience sitting here.
Yeah, sure.
How did that change your life?
Right. I told you about Morgan Stanley, which is the biggest placement in college. I then got into Digtial, which nobody in college had gotten into. It's like a awesome company. I guess McKinsey must be super special for you guys. So at that point, I used to think I am the best, and not just the best, I am far better than people around me. So I had this attitude that when I write code, the other person should not understand what code I have written. उसको समझ में ना आए ताकि वो सोचे कि गौरव कितना स्मार्ट है कि ऐसा कोड लिख सकता है. और ऐसे एटीट्यूड लेके मैं घूमता था. 1-2 साल हो गए. and I used to go on treks. My dad said, "मत जा यहाँ पे, ये ले वाला मुझे risky लग रहा है." I'm like, "Dad, you don't know anything in life." So I went there, and there's a river Zanskar in Leh. वो frozen रहता है, winter में बहुत ठंड हो जाता है. तो वहाँ पे ही trek कर रहे हो आप. तो and super confident guy goes alone forward. Has such a good personality कि उसके आसपास के ट्रैकर बोल रहे तू जा, तू भाग यहाँ से. And I sense of direction भी awesome है, तो I got lost. Now there comes a point when I chose that, I went up over a mountain and I realized that late हो गया दिन में, तो अभी रात होने वाली है. And in the night it becomes -30. You don't have a tent, you don't have a phone, your phone is not working anyway, it's too cold, plus network नहीं है. And today is probably the last day on earth. So that's when it strikes you really hard, because you start looking around and you see not one
individual,
nothing, a plastic piece you won't find. It's crazy. You beg to God that please show me some human touch. But anyway, after some time I was running basically. I was I was scared, of course, but I'm surprised I was not breaking down and crying, like begging for my mom or something, because I guess there was no time. But then I was promising to God, I was kind of bargaining with him, ki if you do this, I will do that. So if you keep me alive, I will give back to the world. I have talent, I know you gave me this, and this is, you're bargaining with the devil sort of. So when that happened, I said I'll meet my parents more, and I will give back to society more. The odd thing here is there's all of you looking at me right now. Earlier I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't have the guts to look you in the eye. But when I was near death, I realized stage fright, they say, is more scary than death. You have not tried death. This is nothing compared to how scary that is. I didn't dare run on the river because it was cracking. And I didn't dare run on the mountain because you can break an ankle, the rocky area. So I saw on the other side that there was a tent. Later on I found a dot which turned into a triangle, which turned into a tent. And then I got there and I'm like, help me. तो ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि पीछे एक क्रॉसिंग था. मैंने बोला मैंने नहीं देखा. So said आगे क्रॉसिंग है, आ जाओ. तो 2 people are running in parallel to this frozen river, me and a guy who's going to escort me. When I met him 500 meters ahead, he tells me कि मैं चिल्ला रहा था, सीटी बजा रहा था, आप सुन क्यों नहीं रहे हो? तो I said क्यों, क्या हुआ? I was wearing head caps. So he's like, आपके पीछे चादर नहीं है, the Chadar trek. So I was running on the river was collapsing, and because I couldn't hear because of the headphones, and I was like, the James Bonds, but scared and wimpy James Bond, was running at full speed and survived. So I was. That's another place I got really scared. I just broke down then. I sat down in the same spot and I couldn't move for a second.
So this changed Gaurav after this experience. When he came back, what did he do?
The first thing I did was connect with the companies around which do education in my space, engineering. And I told them that, what I want to do is I want to post on YouTube through your channels. Just give me a good camera setup and do some editing for me. But I'll take care of the content and I'll do this like day in, day out. Now, once I said that, they were a little skeptical. उनको लगा कि यार ये सही में थोड़ा excited लग रहा है अभी 2 दिन में इसका excitement निकल जाएगा. So they didn't accept. And I had tried like 10 companies, but then I realized I'm wasting time here. I'm also losing out on my determination. So I started myself.
This time, when you were thinking that you want to, talk to people through YouTube, did you have a job?
Yes, I had a job. I had a full-time job, and in the night I would make videos and edit. I kind of got thrown out of my house because I used to wake up till 6 o'clock in the morning. So that was not appreciated.
पापा उठते थे तो तुम सोने जाते थे?
हाँ, मम्मी उठती थी. She would open the door and I would be like, आज तो बहुत काम कर लिया. And then I would go to sleep.
So ऐसे ही होता है हसल कल्चर में. अभी हम सुनते हैं बहुत सारे लोग, they do it, they have their own jobs and then they start something of their own because सबको बहुत cool लगता है. YouTube is like a place where you show your face, you get this instant popularity, comments देखते हो तुमको hit लगता है. So does this, is it a sustainable model, or should someone just quit their jobs and focus on one thing?
It's not sustainable if you don't have any meaning backing it. At the end of the day, if you are saying, hello दोस्तों, आज हम लोग ये करेंगे, they are not your friends. You don't care about them. I don't care about the people specifically who are watching. I'm more concerned about the content and about what I'm doing. So if you want to sustain, then it has to be backed by yourself. I'll tell you one of the examples here. Initially, I started teaching coding, right? Competitive coding, which is algorithms. When algorithms became a saturated topic on my channel, people started saying that, hey, you can do it this way, you can do it that way, but I just switched to something else, which is designing systems. Like electrical systems, you can design this.
Can you explain what designing systems is a little bit?
So, for
Not
example,
going into the jargons and...
no, let's say your mic crashes.
Yes.
Yeah, now you need a replacement mic. So maybe there's a replacement mic. What if, you know, your audio is not recorded in Google Drive? So एक copy तो रह जाए. इंडिया में सुनामी आ गया, जापान में है, हाँ बच गया. Copy तो रह गया, right? कुछ documents you want to save. So how does this system get designed to make it scalable and fault tolerant? That's what I got into, and many people said कि at that time I had like 20,000 subscribers. सबने बोला यार, Gaurav, we didn't subscribe to you for this. You stay with coding. And I said नहीं यार, मैं खुद के लिए बना रहा हूँ और मैं कंटेंट के लिए बना रहा हूँ. मैं आपके लिए भी बना रहा हूँ, लेकिन अगर आपको इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So you can back yourself then. Otherwise you are backed by what the audience wants.
That's a trap. That's definitely a trap because you know, you can give to the audience to an extent, right, what they want, and after a point you will have nothing to give to them because you don't belong there, right? Was there a moment in your life also where this thing hit you that, you know, now I have to pivot to something that I know, that I can teach, and that will help people and come out as authentic? And how important is that when you are in a space like this?
There's this YouTuber, I don't know if I should name him, he's got like 2.1 million subscribers. Initially, his first video was, I got into Google and I'll help you get into Google. His next video is basics of programming. So initially you see that this is at a really good level, right? You can get a software engineering job at Google. Comes down to basics of programming. Comes down to the assignment operator at Python. Why? Because he listened to his audience. And his audience was dumb. The mob is always dumb. Remember that, especially in YouTube. Do they really care about you? Not really. Do they have doubts to ask? Yes. So should you look at the core part or should you look at what they are saying? It's strange, yeah, in that sense.
And what did you look at?
So I had the same thing. Many people used to say that, you know, Gaurav, why don't you create simpler things on data structures? Uske सारे blogs हैं internet पे. How to start with data structures, वो है. Millions of views हैं, popular blogs हैं. I'm not adding value to you. So instead, let me take something which is different. And it brought in a lot of, I was surprised. I can meet people in airports and I get recognized. I meet people in colleges. ऐसा कोई college हुआ नहीं है जहाँ पे मैं गया हूँ और I am not recognized. I'm not boasting. I'm actually telling you that it is impact. People actually care about what you're doing because you are the only person who's actually teaching that. I can also teach things like, you know, very basic, let's say, cat level stuff. Or I can teach things which किसी ने नहीं पढ़ा है अभी तक and is important. Go for the second one. Long term, it benefits.
Right. And that's where we also come in, you know, at AltUni, we are focusing on something like this. We have specific instructors from the industry who come in and teach people, who upskill people or who try helping students who want to get into different sector, who want to try, you know, what they are good at. Yeah. Because if you are trying out different sectors, you're understanding what exactly it has in store, then you can make a conscious decision. Moving on to your journey, I mean, you know, why YouTube fascinates me a lot is because I myself am a creator and I go around on YouTube and, you know, I try to figure out what is the best practice when we are talking about a particular video. यार आज तक मुझे YouTube का ना तो algorithm समझ में आया, ना तो मुझे ये समझ में आया कि एक वीडियो विद द सेम थिंग्स जो काम करती है अगली वाली क्यों नहीं करती. इट्स लाइक अ ब्लैक बॉक्स. डिड यू फिगर इट आउट? कुछ किया तुमने? कुछ
इसमें आप थोड़ा सा फनल बेसिस पे ले सकते हो. सबसे पहली चीज़ क्या दिख रही है लोगों को? थंबनेल एंड टाइटल. So that matters a lot. That's like if you create a website, you'll know about search engine optimization. How many people are actually landing up there? So what tags do you want to use? YouTube has actually gotten rid of tags in that sense. This is the description. But if you take it as a step-by-step process, first process, कितने लोग आने वाले हैं? Thumbnail, title. उसके बाद कितने लोग देखने वाले हैं? Content quality and some sort of a hook. सो पहला मिनट आपने दिखा दिया, और फिर फाइनली कितने लोग बात करने वाले हैं वो तो ऑलमोस्ट एंटायरली क्वालिटी पे ही है. सो और एक वीडियो पे इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल टू, इन माई पर्सनल ओपिनियन, गेट अ सब्सक्रिप्शन. ज़्यादातर आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू सी वन वीडियो एंड यू गो लाइक डूड इसको तो सब्सक्राइब दबा देता हूँ.
Gaurav, honestly बताना, when you were working with Uber, right? And when you were thinking कि ना अभी तो focus करना है अपने YouTube चैनल पे, अब तो ये जॉब क्विट करनी है, डर लगा था?
I don't think, here's a strange thing, nobody will tell you this about YouTube, if or any kind of side passion if you have. If you spend 3 to 4 hours a day on your passion and then you get back to work saying that this is going to put food on my plate, you will every day consider leaving your job. So, and you will suck at your job, most likely. At least I did. So, I'm surprised I was not fired. Like my manager was either very kind or maybe in the limited attention and time I had, I used to do okay. So layoffs bhi hue the. I wasn't fired then. I'm still surprised. But yeah.
What was this time when you decided that you want to take that leap of faith? I mean, in terms of your, I'm talking about it, was it 2018, 19, around that time?
A few things happened together. One of the things was, if you've worked for a few years, you're comfortable. You know that it's not just money that you have saved up, you've also saved up on skills. If your venture fails, it's all right, you can always fall back. So there is that, guarantee that you have. Apart from that, the earnings have to be, in my personal opinion, equivalent to that in your job. So बंद भी हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा? Salary तो यहाँ से भी आ रही है. So if you're a YouTuber, specifically, sponsorships help a lot. Affiliates जो होते हैं कि आपने किसी और का सेल करा लिया, वो आपको एक कमीशन देते हैं. वो कमीशन से आप बहुत कमा सकते हो क्योंकि वो स्केलेबल होता है. तो अगर जैसे मेरा जो सैलरी था was around half of how much I was earning on the side. So then you go like, dude तू बंद भी कर देगा तो क्या हो जाएगा?
Right. So anything of this sort that has come to you where some of your subscribers or people who follow you have come back to you and say कि यार आपसे मैंने इतना सीखा है जो मैंने इंजीनियरिंग के 4 साल में नहीं सीखा है. Did that happen to you?
हाँ आता तो है. I don't believe them though, honestly. I just teach the basics of 2 subjects. They are, it is possible कि मैंने बहुत augment कर लिया है, बहुत help किया है, but I hope that's not true. वरना उनके colleges क्या है? गैलीलियो का टेलीस्कोप देख के आप टेलीस्कोप नहीं बना पाओगे, लेकिन आपको फंडामेंटल्स सीखने को मिलेगा. तो हबल का टेलीस्कोप देख के ये मत बोलो कि यार वो वाला इतना कूल है और ये क्या, ये तो कल का पुराना ज़माना का खटारा है. सो जस्ट लाइक दैट इन कंप्यूटर साइंस यू लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स फंडामेंटल्स इन कॉलेज विच यू लेटर ऑन रियलाइज आर प्रीटी इंपॉर्टेंट. It's a fact that the teachers are very poor, usually. That's the reason why we are going back to YouTube. But the person who's setting the syllabus is usually really smart. So they have set up the structure right. We need implementation.
Performance marketing, e-commerce marketing, content marketing. Is this the world that you see yourself in? If you dream to work in these roles at Hindustan Unilever Limited, here's your chance. Apply to AltUni's certificate program in digital marketing with HUL. The participants achieved a return of 12 times the investment with an 80% average salary hike. Hurry up! Apply now to the program from the link in the description. Limited seats available.